last year, we saw a number of just gold standard brands, ironically, a lot of them out of the Pacific Northwest here, a number of gold standard brands who went from being lauded and the pinnacle within their category to like a substantial business challenge that they have, right? So the brands I'm thinking about, think about this set of gold standard brands: Starbucks, Boeing, Nike, and Intel, right? Very different sectors, all of them a different sort of situation, but they clearly have suffered from a combination of what I think are kind of two factors. One is they get kind of trapped within their own business model and they're just incrementalizing themselves to the next thing. So that's kind of the innovator's dilemma. And the other is a cultural thing of like what their expectations are in the business between themselves. And that's kind of a culture of mediocrity that hasn't become just accepted. It's actually become the standard within a number of kind of healthy companies. And I think that that combination is really the challenge of being both trapped from our own success and not seeking high performance, both for our business and for the way that we work. And so that's the specific problem. So there's building the foundation, chasing perfection, taking big bets. Under building the foundation, one of the key plays is about people. And I think everybody starts with the wrong place when they think about getting the right people in the organization, helping them be successful. Because everybody thinks it's about like the person. And I disagree. I think it's about a thoughtful design of the organization and what the job is that needs to be needed. And so many companies haven't really thought through, for this role, for this team, for this core capability of our company, what's the job that's needed now and going forward? How would we define it? What do we think kind of the consistent goals are going to be? What's the decision-making criteria and scope of this? What are the key metrics that we imagine this role having? And what do we think the non-obvious skills and background and attributes that would help somebody be successful? Even if you have somebody in the role today and you want to help take their performance from good to world class, rethinking what the job is a super powerful way to help that person achieve those goals. But it goes so underplayed in companies. And this is not a big exercise to do, and everything, but companies don't do it. So that's an example. Here's another one, which is how do we run a great business today? And how companies design and use metrics to actually get the signal of where aren't we good enough from a customer experience or from an operational standpoint today. I was a partner at Arthur Andersen. I was a green belt. I'm an industrial engineer by education. I thought I knew how to use metrics for impact. And I learned a whole graduate level course at Amazon. And it's been kind of one of the consistent things I work with clients in my keynotes on since then is like metrics and how we use them. And there's two parts that I'll talk about. One is like just how you design metrics. And it always has to be a balanced scorecard of metrics, right? You can't have just like one metric. You need efficiency, you need quality, you need cost metrics, right? And it's the design relative to those. But then the second part is like, what do you do with those metrics, right? And so I always talk about make metrics a verb, right? They're not a thing, they're not static, they're a verb. And the action that we take is, how do we discover the signal, not to pat ourselves on the back, but to see where there's opportunity to chase perfection? And that was, I think, the design of kind of the metrics meetings and the tone and the tempo and the purpose of those meetings is an absolute game changer for teams and companies that can turn metrics into the fuel that improve the business for today, but it's like going to the gym. If you do this all the time, you're going to get the idea that fuels big bets. Like, how do you actually innovate and transform?